2015 properly as a conference and a coalition for first-generation low-income students and the people who support them professionally, so staff, administrators, faculty, and putting them all together in the same room for a weekend, but then afterwards being part of a coalition that stayed in touch with one another for the rest of the year and built, basically traded ideas and built on the work that they had done that weekend. It took 2 years for the conference to actually happen, so by the time it did, I had transferred to Columbia, and that's when I was at Barnard. Last year, GW hosted the second conference, and that's when we knew that AL1GN was here to stay. And here now we are here at UVA, and it can only go from here. The point of AL1GN was it arose in response to the success of IDG. So IDG was the first conference for first-generation low-income students at its scale. The first conference was at Brown University, 2015, 16. Aaron, a couple years before the first AL1GN conference, and it was, as the name suggests, it was for the Ivy League and for elite universities. And AL1GN is a response to that, to that success. That is important, but I mean, as you can see from articles from the Atlantic and New York Times, interviews with mostly Ivy League students, mostly students at elite universities. And well, we want to expand the orbit of that narrative to include more students. So students at liberal arts colleges, state colleges, colleges in the South and the Midwest, right? It seems that all the conversations concentrated on the East Coast or like Stanford. So the point of AL1GN is to keep shifting that narrative more and more broadly, and that's represented by a conference that keeps moving further south. And we want to keep on that trend, move south, move west, include more people in that conversation. And that's what I'm really excited about. And really the only other point of AL1GN before I let FGL High Stories start is in fitting with, so our theme, our program has been broken down into 3 parts this weekend. Tonight is about owning our very disparate, very diverse narratives, but that still, evokes stories of struggle and stories of overcoming, stories of being strong people for who we are and for our families' backgrounds. That's very important. But what's just as important is also laying down, okay, here's the scope of the problem that my institution is facing, be it food insecurity, housing insecurity, on the low-income end, or on first-gen end. If there's no community, there's no student community, there's no institutional support for first-generation students like the Bridge program, things like that. We want to lay out that scope. That's going to be the hard work that we're going to do on Saturday. Then Sunday is going to be all about what deliverables can we bring back to our campuses. So it's all about student-generated work is the phrase that these people come up with. I agree with that. We want to do some work ourselves here, bring it back to our campuses, and debrief the rest of the institution and start that work for the other 51 weeks of the year. So that's I just want us to consider this prompt, I guess, as a way to start AL1GN. And just continue letting that root as you experience the rest of the program. So thank you again for coming, and I guess prepare yourselves.
Welcome to our first programming event, FGLI Stories, the Power of the Personal Narrative. These 7 speakers I have gotten to know over the course of the past few weeks. One of them as little as a few days ago, recent addition. All of them have amazing stories. They are just like you. Although they're all unique in their backgrounds, in what they love to do, they've all experienced educational insecurity. They wondered what their next step is going to be. They weren't sure what was going to happen. They weren't sure how they were going to get this degree, but they knew that they needed it. And they knew that they need to persevere and find ways to overcome their barriers. So we'll get into some deep stuff very quickly, and I want to lay down some ground rules. First, so the first one is going to be wait till the end to applaud. So a way you can show support instead is to snap your fingers. That creates some noise and it lets speakers know that you're here to support them, but it won't interrupt them and it won't overpower them. So if you like something that the speaker is saying, if you can relate, if you want to show some support, all you have to do is snap your fingers, maybe give them a little wave in the crowd, just so you know they know that you're here for them. We're part of a coalition, like Chris said, to support each other, and we're here for each other. So these are all our speakers. I'm going to pull up their bios before they speak, so you can read a little bit about them as they're talking, to know their majors and stuff like that, so they can talk about what they're here to talk about. So without further ado, here's our first speaker, Darnisha.
Hi. How's everybody doing? Good? Okay. So I'm just going to be blunt and be very honest. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm nervous. So just bear with me as I'm doing this. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Thank you for the support. So let me just start out. Hi, I'm Darnisha. Like all of you guys, I'm a first generation, low income, single mother household student. Yes, I grew up in Tappahannock, Virginia. Anybody know? Yeah. Chris Brown, he's from there. We claim him sometimes we don't. Just don't leave it out there. That's on what's happening. Like I said, I grew up in a single mother household, so just me and my mom. I was raised mostly by my mom and my grandma. I remember when I was younger, my mom had lost her job. She was laid off at a textile factory that she worked at, and she was unemployed for some time. And I remember having to ration out bills. Well, she did the bills. I was just a child. But her, rationing out like, okay, well, we have to have a place to live. We have to pay the bills for the mortgage, but we can't buy groceries. So, just having to deal and having to live in that environment was hard. We had to eat out a lot, doing a lot of things that was scary because we used to get, foreclosure warnings and things like that in the house, and worrying about if the electricity was going to be on, and all kinds of things. So I just growing up in that environment has stuck with me. And so with that struggle and going through those struggles of being in this, not having my father around, being in a place where we didn't have a lot of money, there's no money saved up. The savings we did have, she had to use when she lost her job. I remember when I turned 16, my mom was like, all right, you're getting a job. Get out, get a job. So I had no choice. And I'm so thankful for her for being able to lay that foundation of being independent, being hardworking, making my own money. I started my first job at Shoney's, if anybody knows what that is. Yes. Breakfast, seafood. I was a server, I was a waitress, I was a hostess. I did that for a little bit, and also I just remember my mom being she pushed me a lot to be very smart. So I was in the Gifted and Talented program in my elementary school. I remember doing the test for that very vividly, and being throughout that for the rest of my schooling in public school. And I did a lot of after school programs. I was in Chesapeake Bay Governor School. I did a lot of things, and I was preparing myself for going to college with my mom. It wasn't a question. My mom was like, you're going to college. And I was like, okay, well, all right. I had no choice. So I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to college. And she's never been to college, obviously first generation, she's never been to college. Nobody has been to a four-year university in my family. So it was very scary, but I remember in 8th grade, I was like, no, I am going to UVA. Let's do it. Yes. I knew that UVA would meet 100% of my financial needs based on my financial status. So that was a blessing in disguise that I'm glad I found. And also, I just knew that the academics were very vigorous, and I felt like I was preparing myself for that. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna, reach my dreams. So got here to UVA. I always knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. Well, yeah, medical field, health field. But I didn't really know how to push myself towards being where I wanted to be. So I kind of came to UVA. Well, I did come to UVA. And I remember my first day here, I cried because I didn't know what I was doing. My mom was crying because, I'm her only child. And so I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'll just figure it out. And being a first-generation student, I didn't have the luxury of my parents or somebody that I know that's close to be like, okay, well, here's the resources that you go to. Here's who you talk to, about this, and this. Like my family was there for support, but they weren't there for the academic support that I needed. So I really had to find ways to work around that and also network myself. And it was very, very, very scary. But yeah, so going back to when I first got into UVA, like I said, 100% of my needs were met by scholarships and grants for the 4 years I've been here. It got tricky though, because I'm currently in my 5th year of school here because I transferred to the nursing school. So I did get into nursing like I wanted to. That was my dream. It was a long, and I knew going into, or like being accepted into nursing that my 5th year wasn't going to be covered by financial aid from some unknown, I'm sure it's like state regulated, but whatever. So yeah, so this semester actually they called me, they messaged me, they're like, hey, you maxed out on credits. We're still giving you money, like what are we doing? So I had to explain to them hey, I transferred, I'm trying to do what I want to do, get to where I want to be, and I thankfully got the financial aid for this semester, which is great. And I can't stress enough how fortunate and grateful I am to be able to not have that financial burden weighing down on me and my family, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the scholarship and grants that I gotten. So yeah, that was very, very fortunate. And also just going back to the college in general, I had a hard time navigating how to be a college student, what to do, how to talk to people, things like that. If anybody knows anything about Tappahannock, it's small, it's rural, it's I knew everybody that I saw. And here, I got here and I was like, okay, I don't know these people, I'm scared, I don't know, what do I do, these people are crazy, I don't know what's going on. Navigating that was hard, but I had the support from my family, and also I learned how to network and get out there and do all kinds of things. But then last year, my father had passed away from colon cancer, and like I said, I wasn't that close to my dad, but I was close, enough, I would say, but I was close to my dad. And that was another roadblock in my journey, I would say, but it has allowed me to see that, because I didn't know what to do at that point, because I was trying to be a college student, but also trying to be a person, grieving the loss of my father. So through that time, I had to realize that, I learned how to take care of myself. I learned that it's okay to go out and ask for help and to reach out for, counseling and stuff like that, doing self-care, taking care of my mental health, because I feel like going and going and going is what was embedded in me being younger. You gotta be independent, you gotta do this, this, and this. But as I got to college and now I'm here, I've learned to kind of slow down and how to ask for help. That's something I didn't really do much. So, but yeah, so just to reflect and to recap, being a first-generation student has taught me, and also being first-generation in low income has taught me so much about myself. It has allowed me to network and reach out for, has allowed me to learn how to find resources. It helps me to learn how to, sorry, I'm repeating the same thing, sorry. It has taught me how to become the biggest advocate for myself. And going through the low income part of it, I'm just so thankful and I'm so blessed and so grateful that for all the scholarships and all the donors that were able to give me the money that I needed to be here and to graduate in May. So yeah, I just hope that after I graduate, I want to get back to the UVA. I want to, get back to the Charlottesville community because I'll be here in Charlottesville, and I just want to, make sure that I can do for somebody else as people have done for me. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you so much for listening, and